Okay. What's value innovation, and how this value innovation could serve the strategic design when we are designing a digital product or product service combination? Okay, let's take a look a little bit to the concept of value. When we offer a product to our user, a product needs to be valuable. Otherwise, the user wouldn't use it in a kind of long-term manner. So value to user is a concept, or is something that we are looking after right in the beginning of the process of product design. So it always starts with this idea that, okay, if I offer this value to my user, so my user would be happy, and then I would be able to convert that value, that user value, into business value through some monetization strategies. So a product needs to be valuable to users to entice them to use it continually. Okay, it also needs to be valuable to the business, like when we convert that value to the user value to business value. It's like that monetization strategy would help the business to make money from our happy users, basically. Okay, so but let's take a look at this traditional value chain concept. Yeah, and this is, I mean, when we talk about value, it's very important to understand the history of this concept, that where it came from. A traditional value chain is a model that describes the activities that a firm perform to deliver a product or service to the market. It is a way to analyze a company's internal and external processes to understand how value is created and delivered to the customer. The value chain model was first introduced by Michael Porter, and it's defined as a chain of activities that a firm operates in order to create value to the user, in order to create a valuable product or use. And usually it's started in these companies that produce some physical products. It's the whole process of creating value start with research, kind of a research project, basically, and then through design, sourcing, especially about the materials, manufacturing, marketing, sales, service, and that idea would continue, basically. So the goal here is that in each step of this chain of activities, a company tries to create some value to the user and to reduce the cost of the product. The same idea then later on continued in this new perspective of value innovation. Like value innovation is a concept that it's a strategic concept that refers to the creation of a unique value to our user, to our customer, for our customers, while reducing costs. It is strategy for gaining a competitive advantage by providing a product or service that's both distinct and less expensive than the competition. There is a book here. You can see the name of the book, Blue Ocean Strategy. This book describes this idea of value innovation. Like it first introduced value innovation, first introduced in this book, and the author talked about how to reduce the cost of production, cost of offering a product, and how to increase this buyer value or users value. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this idea and how it reflects, because it in this book it talks about red ocean, blue ocean, and these kind of things. So we want to talk a little bit about these idea of red ocean and blue ocean with an example, actually. So here, ocean is actually is market. Okay, the red ocean is when an ocean is full of competitors circling around the same customer like sharks. The water get bloody and surviving this market place is cutthroat. Okay, what's blue ocean? Blue ocean is uncontested territory. It is free for the taking. You don't just beat the competition, you make them completely irrelevant. Perfect. So let's talk about an example here. Okay, listening to music wherever you want, like the idea of portability of the music device, basically. Now everything's taken over by phone, like our phone does everything. One of them is like this, providing this service. Okay, but late 70s, that was the time that first Sony introduced the sub-brand of Walkman. Now the main Sony sub-brand is PlayStation, but at that time it was Walkman. Like you had it, audio tape, cassette tape, you put it on your Walkman and you could go anywhere, listen to music with the headphones, and that was amazing. Like that was the first time a company could offer that idea, listening to music wherever you are. Then after that, there was a time that all other companies came. They tried to create high quality products, some of them inexpensive products with the same functionality. But anyway, that time passed. Like after, I don't know, 10 maybe more years, and then CD Man came into the market. Same idea, instead of cassette or cassette player, it was CD player, but it was portable. You could listen to music wherever you are. Perfect. But then after CD Man, I mean, that was a short period. After that, it was MP3 players. I mean, MP3 players changed the whole market because the size was small, battery consumption was much less, and sound quality was high, and I mean, lots of advantages were there. And if you look at all these three different generations, they serve the same function. Like they satisfy the same user requirements, but in a different way. And all those changes happen due to some technological advancement. Perfect. But now I want to talk about MP3 players. Like that time, like tons of companies were offering these MP3 players, and the competition was like more on the features that they could offer. Recording, some water resistant, like you can walk, you can swim, or something like that. Having a clip like this, for example, you could attach it to your pocket or arm or something like that. So battery life, like other features like alarm clock, some kind of I don't know, calendar, sound recording, and many other things. But because there were lots of competitors, tons of companies offering the same product with different qualities, different price scheme, and different features. So basically, it was full red ocean, like bloody red ocean, and that was the time that Apple came into the market. But as we know, Apple, they don't go into the red ocean. They try to change it to make all competitors irrelevant. And let's read what Don Norman said about this Apple idea. It's about system design instead of product design. Okay, it's not about the iPod. It's about the system. Apple was the first company to license music for downloading. That's a service. Oh, this is not a product. It provides a simple, easy to understand pricing scheme. Okay, another amazing thing. It has a first-class website that's not only easy to use, but fun as well. Usability and desirability. So, the purchase, downloading the song to the computer and then to the iPod are all handled well and effortlessly. Ease of use. And the iPod is indeed well designed, well thought out, a pleasure to look at, to touch and hold, and to use. Again, usability. User experience, actually. There are other excellent music players. No one seems to understand the systems thinking that has made Apple so successful. iPod is not a product at all, it's a service. It's experience, not consumed. So there are lots of, as I mentioned before, there are tons of companies out there. And these companies like Sony, Tascam, Microsoft, Diamond, and all other companies, they were offering the same solution. But Apple changed everything by this iPod idea, okay, and creates a blue ocean. That's what we are talking about now. That's how you, as design strategies, could change the whole perspective of like designing by designing the system instead of designing the product. So that's the way that we can create value. That this could be a good way for that purpose of the value innovation, basically. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about blue ocean, destroying your rivals through a competitive advantage. So you are not just offering one new feature or improving a new feature, you are changing everything by offering a competitive advantage, a unique advantage that you have over others. Okay, breaking a few rules that aren't quite rules yet, category creation, and this is the important part, inventing your own game that creates an uncontested new marketplace and space for users to roam. So that's how your users differentiate you and your products over all other competitors. That's how the blue ocean could be created. So this is what we want to talk about. Two different types of innovation here. Okay, we are talking about value innovation basically, and these two types of innovation. One is sustaining innovation. Companies, businesses, industries, they try to improve the quality, reduce the cost, and that's the way, as you remember, we talked about like creating value like in traditional way, the value chain kind of thing. And that's how companies try to improve their features, their products, battery life, for example, better user experience, much more appealing product, and that's only sustaining innovation. But what's disruptive innovation? Disruptive innovation is when a process by which a product or service takes root initially in a simple application at the bottom of the market and then relentlessly move up market eventually displacing established competitors, make them totally irrelevant. So getting back to that, to the example where we talked about iPod, okay, when Apple launched iPod and the whole system and service, the ecosystem related to that marketplace, marketplace for audio files, basically. Yes, so you could purchase, download music to your iPod, and you could listen. Interaction was amazing, but it seems that Microsoft didn't get it right. Like, the designers in Microsoft, they tried to kind of create a competitor to Apple, to iPod, and they thought, okay, we create same design, same proportion, and all those things. They tried to create same user experience, even visually, their product was more or less similar to iPod, but they didn't get that the whole system behind that iPod idea. They only saw the physical part of that, the physical product. They haven't seen the service behind it that makes that made basically iPod so successful. So that was the reason Zune was a total failure. Airbnb is another good example for this value innovation. Like, let's imagine what was the existing solution before Airbnb, like for affordable sublet place when you want to go to a trip. Okay, the solution was like either you should go to Craigslist or some social media, some website that you could trust. You should trust somebody that you don't know. You should trust the description, the photos, and all those things written there. And then you had to pay a deposit to book the time. Maybe you negotiate with the guy about the price and those kind of things, but there was no way to make sure that you are talking with a real trustable person who's the owner of the place, or that place exists in a location that you are pointed to, and lots of other things. Like, everything's like what was scary, and like I couldn't trust anything. And that was the time that Airbnb came into the market with a solution, with that value innovation. So basically, you could make sure that the profile of the person that you see is a verified user profile, trust. You could see user reviews about all the details, location, cleanliness, communication, everything. And then that also created kind of trust, everything. So when you book a place, an Airbnb, you could make sure that the place exists. Description is real, and you're confident. The issue is that the main problem, that uncertainty, that scariness, has been solved. Okay, so that's the value innovation of Airbnb and similar products. So there are other features as well, like additional features, like Google, a kind of calendar tool. Like, you could see the availability time. Map integration is also there. You can see the location and the distance to other important locations, and money transaction would be done through the website as well. You make sure that you pay the money, the lister would receive the money, and they also like, the trust is there when you book through Airbnb. So this is the value innovation that Airbnb offered. So what happened? Blue ocean. Airbnb created a blue ocean through disruptive innovation. Okay, but some simple solution, putting something together, and then the idea was created, and the website could handle all those things that was user concern at the point of time. So we're going to talk about how this happens, and we're going to talk about the user experience and all those details that, okay, we need to identify the user concern, their problems, the opportunity that we have, the technologies that we could use out. But at the end, everything boils down to value innovation, the core of the idea that you have. What's the main thing, the main value that you offer to your user, and that solves the main problem that they have regarding that functionality. So this is about user value and the idea of value innovation strategic design.